What's up? What's up? Welcome back to Chasing the Target. It's been a bit of a relaxing day in terms of cricket, but we got a lot of cricket lined up for us tomorrow. The Under 19 World Cup final takes place. India play New Zealand in the second T20, and South Africa play England in the second ODI. We had a bit of big bash action today. Faiz will give you the update. The sports coaches have won the qualify and reached the finals, I think. Faiz, how are you doing, bro?
I'm doing good. Yeah, relaxing day in terms of cricket, but only tomorrow. The calm before the storm. रहने वाला है मसला कल 3 मैच back to back. England South Africa also interesting because England obviously would want to get back on a good run of ODIs. I know consecutively 4 हार चुके हैं already. They're not in the best of form ODI wise. But yeah, I mean in terms of their schedule also there have been a lot of issues where Ben Stokes has called that out, saying कि भाई हमारा schedule बैगन का है और समझ में नहीं आ रहा. But I still think like I know तुम basketball को बहुत back करते हैं जिस तरीके से ना खेलते but थोड़ा पर अभी भी मैं on the hindsight of थोड़ा sensible cricket भी खेलना है sometimes.
एक आर्टिकल आपको पढ़ाना है टुडे इट केम ऑन क्रिकेट इन्फो ओवन मॉर्गन का इंटरव्यू था आई नीड यू टू रीड दैट बिकॉज़ इट जस्ट defines what I was saying yesterday. Like he put it in much better words, of course, but he said, "By if you play defensive ball, you're wasting a delivery." He's like really adamant. But
every ball does count 100%. I understand making the most of every ball, but also like sometimes like 11 good balls can also lose you the match. You have to think of
yeah,
that way, right? I
they're
think
willing to
वैसा
lose
भी है.
matches. They're willing to lose matches. They don't mind.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They're I mean they're ready to do that, but again there is certain अब last 4 ODI से तो आप back to back हारे. I get कि आप और T20 के बाद आप खेले उतना आपका schedule hectic था, आपके players back to back सही form like fitness में नहीं है. जोफ्रा आर्चर अभी आ रहा, Ben Stokes, I think Ben Stokes तो है भी. Josh Butler is in good form, but against after the T20 World Cup he was not in the best form. Sam Curran was also getting smacked recently, but last ODI में अच्छा perform करा. So there are a lot of things in England's to-do list as well as the schedule is a little bit irritating. I'll give it to them that way. On the other side, अगर आप South Africa को देख रहे, they're also in like they need 5 more games. They need 5 more games, I think, to come back to the automatic qualification for the World Cup. But still, I think it was someone who just said that they're not looking for that right now. They're just looking to redeem themselves in white ball cricket. They've been in shambles in terms of white ball cricket. में बहुत बुरा record रहा उनका in recent 2 years, and they're just looking to redeem that. They're not even looking at the World Cup, and that is something that is shocking. But also, it makes sense to a point that they obviously अगर आप white ball cricket
Well, handling the media is just
नहीं,
like
and also अगर आप logically translate करें उसको white ball cricket को अगर आप सही कर लिए तो automatically it will translate into a World Cup qualification, right? So basically they're doing the main important task.
You saw the desperation yesterday. They were geared up, especially in the second half of the second innings. They were the way they were steaming in, the way they were fielding. They knew that the World Cup was on the line. It was clear. It's just that they need to calm things down in the press conference and in the media and everything. They don't want to over exaggerate because then that puts unnecessary pressure on the team. We have to win at all costs. But by playing it down in the media, it just gives you that opportunity to focus and do your thing. But you could clearly see that they had more at stake to play for, and they were very desperate to win that game, in the body language and everything. Ibrahim Bhai Singh, South Africa have 4 matches left in the Super League, and Ibrahim Bhai, if you can let us know how many wins they need out of that. But right now they're off to a very good start in terms of trying to get there. But let me know how many wins they need out of 4.
I think they need to beat Netherlands 2-0, and then they have to also think on other people losing. But yeah, I think they have 5 more wins or 4 more wins that they also have to do. So I'm pretty sure, but other results also have to go in the favor. It's a little bit of a tricky situation, but I think South Africa will come off in the end very easily. कल का जीत के तो it will be a massive boost for them. And yeah, I mean, definitely one match to look into because the bowling has always been a delight from South Africa's end. Just तरीके से Rabada, Northgate, Dalre back to back. There was a heavy criticism on Tabraiz Shamsi and his return, but Keshav Maharaj looks likely to come back there. So that will also be interesting because Keshav Maharaj भी इतना खास नहीं था Australia के against. He was bowling very bad lengths and getting smacked. So yeah, and then in terms of Magala also, showing certain signs of maturity. They were talking by usually new ball के साथ डालता, but middle over में भी आके he showed that he can prove to be an asset.
Mm-hmm. And then if you look at it from India's point of view, India versus New Zealand on the front foot right now, 1-0 going into the Lucknow game. The pressure is on Hardik Pandya and his boys. Again, there will be debates on should Prithvi Shaw start, should there be changes in the bowling lineup. There's a lot of criticism on Arshdeep, a lot of criticism on the bowling in general, on the youngsters. I think that, you just have to let it flow and take it one step at a time. Of course, that doesn't mean you don't change it. You make minor changes here and there, make some slight changes. लेकिन I don't think there's anything to worry about. There's still a year's time for that T20 World Cup. It's about developing as a team and taking it forward. They will lose games. This is an inexperienced team. They will definitely have some issues. And look, with Arshdeep, I'll tell you something, Fez. He started off brilliantly. IPL mein Zabardast tha. His international career also he was really good in the Asia Cup, in the T20 World Cup. But, as your real test as an international player happens 1 year after or like 6 months after, because what happens is the oppositions, their analysts keep looking at you. Players play you a bit more. They understand your bowling a bit more. They know
Exactly.
slower ball कब डालने वाला, यॉर्कर कैसा डालने वाला है. They know exactly. They start changing their stance. They'll go deep in the crease, so they'll come forward and they'll do different things to counter him. And that's exactly what's happening. It's for him. It's about now trying to make a 2.0 out of that, like developing his game further and countering what they're doing. And this is it's going to happen. You just have to back him, because he is a talented kid. He has a very good Yorker on him. He has that left hand angle. He just has to. And one main thing is his no balls. He'll have to control.
Yeah, 100%. Like you mentioned, I would agree to that point. Initially when someone bursts onto the scene, जो बोलते हैं अपन, अरे ना किराक है, but you have to obviously give that 6 months of gap till the other batsmen sort of understand him, इसके variation क्या है. Obviously he'll get anything new always catches the eye in the market, right? I think that's what it is. And with Arshdeep, maybe he needs to develop a little bit more variations in him and sort of not be too predictable. उन्हें इतना predictable है यार death overs में. अब के उन्हें वो स्लोअर डिलीवरी या यॉर्कर उसके अलावा उन्हें कुछ डालने की कोशिश करता भी नहीं है ना. आई नो आपके गो टू बॉल्स है, एंड देन या तो आप यॉर्कर प्रॉपर रोटेट करो, आप पहले 2 बॉल शॉट डाले, इवन फ्री हिट पे आप शॉट डाले, व्हिच डिडंट मेक सेंस एट ऑल. वो भी स्लोअर शॉट डाले, उन्हें आराम से डेरिल मिचेल टाइम लेके फोड़ दिया आपको. तो आई थिंक यॉर्कर इज योर गो टू बॉल, देन जस्ट बैंक काउंट दैट. आई नो इट्स डिफिकल्ट टू नेल अ यॉर्कर बॉल आफ्टर बॉल, बट be sensible and play around with it logically. Like या तो आप anticipate करो कि इतने रन्स का एक टारगेट बना के चलो कि भाई maximum 10 to 12 भी चल जाएगा in that kind of an over, but 27 is just uncalled for. And I don't see a lot of changes happening for either squad. Maybe Hardik Pandya will go for the same squad. I don't have a feeling कि उन्हें ज़्यादा कुछ change करेंगे. I'll look into Shubman Gill's wicket. Maybe if I was being overtly critical, मैं बोलूँगा कि जितेश शर्मा को आप चांस दे सकते हो over ईशान किशन, because ईशान has had a bad run of games, even with keeping wise, though he did get a run out in the last match, but he has been a little bit critical in terms of just keeping as well as batting. So maybe you could give Jitesh Sharma an opening, but that also looks a little far-fetched.
You mentioned what's it called? Shubman Gill over there, and a lot of people want Prithvi Shaw into the lineup because they want that high risk cricket. They want those shots. They want that strike
A
rate.
lot of people का तो नहीं मालूम, आपको तो होना ही होना है. I don't know, a lot of people का तो नहीं मालूम, but आपको तो definitely होना है.
हाँ, मेरे को तो पसंद है वैसे प्लेयर, and I don't mind आउट हो गया तो आउट हो गया. लेकिन but I was reading a lot of in different areas, people were saying because of his domestic performances, not only in Ranji Trophy but also inside Mustaq Ali, everywhere he just brings something different. If you actually look at it, Gaikwod's stats have been probably a bit better in domestic T20 Mustaq Ali, if you look at it specifically, but it's just a brand of cricket Shaw plays. Again, though, my question is same thing with Shaw, same thing with your other bowlers. For example, if you take out Arshdeep and bring in Mukesh Kumar is in the squad, or if you make a change like that, right? Does it change the fact that India will have a death bowling problem? Will it change the fact that they'll have an issue with the new ball or with the turn? Will it change that fact if you make these changes? Because from what I've seen, whatever I've seen in the senior team, I've seen that similar problems at this young team as well.
Yeah, I guess it is just that aura of a death, aura जो बना दिया मेरे हिसाब से death bowling जो कर दिया आजकल बहुत ज़्यादा hype तो नहीं बोल सकते. Yes, it is a very crucial over that you bowl the last and the first initial overs. वो रहता है एक चीज मैं समझ सकता हूँ, लेकिन जितने आप उसको स्ट्रेस दे रहे उससे ज्यादा बहुत ज्यादा हाइप हो गया ये. अर्शदीप बैक इन द डे तो अपन डेथ ओवर्स बोले कुछ थी भी नहीं. आई थिंक ये T20 से शुरू हुआ डेथ ओवर, डेफिनेटली ये भी T20 का मैच है. आई गेट दैट पॉइंट, but maybe the bowlers are just taking that too much to their head and sort of focusing on making sure that they don't go for a lot of runs rather than focusing on the line and length. मेरे हिसाब से लाइन एंड लेंथ पे फोकस करो, जस्ट ट्रीट इट लाइक अ नॉर्मल ओवर. यार गया तो गया ठीक है, लेकिन इतना आप स्ट्रेस कर दे रहे फील्ड ऐसा इंटेंस कर देते माहौल भी कैप्टन आके 2-2 मिनट को बात करेंगे तो दैट ओवर विल फील लाइक समथिंग एल्स एंड आई एम नॉट टॉकिंग अबाउट हार्दिक पांड्या आई एम टॉकिंग जनरल कैप्टन कैप्टन
नहीं
पे
नहीं
आते
नहीं,
ही पाउंस करने रेडी है हमारे भाई हार्दिक
मैं
पांड्या
आपको एक चीज बोलूं, यू हैव टू ट्रीट एज अ डिफरेंट ओवर बिकॉज राइट नाउ देर बोलिंग दीज लेंथ्स एंड देर गेटिंग स्मैक, यू हैव टू बोल एज अ डिफरेंट ओवर, यू हैव टू हिट दोस यॉर्कर्स, यू कांट बोल हाउ यू बोल इन द पावर प्ले, दिस
आई एम
इज
नॉट
द
सेइंग
मिस्टेक
नहीं आई एम
दे
सेइंग कि भाई ठीक है लास्ट ओवर है रन चले गए अब 27 रन चले गए बट आप इतना स्ट्रेसफुल बना दिए वो चीज को कि डेथ ओवर में
बिकॉज
एंड इट
आप
बिकम
एग्जीक्यूट नहीं
इट
कर रहे प्लान
बिकॉज
को, इसलिए तो
देख
stressful हो
सबसे
रहा
बड़े क्यों है मालूम है बिकॉज बुमराह का वर्ड है इसलिए और ज्यादा बैकफायर हैड वी हैड बुमराह इन दिस टीम लॉट ऑफ टेंशन रहता भी नहीं था अरे बुमराह यार संभाल लेता उसको ज्यादा स्ट्रेस नहीं रहता उन्हें विकेट टू विकेट डाल लेता खत्म मेरा
बुमराह के
मतलब ये है
साथ
कि
भी
भाई
प्रॉब्लम हो चुका है ये।
हाँ, I'm just saying कि भाई it is a over, a very crucial over. I'll give it to that. But again, the captain how he treats it, the bowler how he treats it. See that 2007 final का जो World Cup था. Again, I'll go back to that. Dhoni gave it to Jogendra Sharma. Yes, no one was ready to bowl it because they were. Jogendra Sharma को I think धोनी यही बोलेंगे कि भाई तू टेंशन लेके डालना जो भी है मैं देख लूंगा, मैं संभाल लूंगा ये चीज. तू खाली बिंदास डालो. उन्हें जो लाइन डाला ये गया, विकेट मिल गई. So my point is yes, it's a crucial over, but don't
उसमें भी
overhype it to that
प्रॉब्लम हो
fact
गया था by the way,
that
because एक ही विकेट बचा था उन्हें, एंड लाइक यू नो आई थिंक 3 overs to go, सोहेल तनवीर इज ऑलरेडी बैटिंग एंड ही वाज द सेकंड लास्ट बैट्समैन,
smashing.
उसमें भी
Yeah.
प्रॉब्लम था, आप लास्ट ओवर की डेथ बॉलिंग का ही प्रॉब्लम था उसमें भी, एंड में आप
बट
लकी हो गए
मेरा
विकेट
पॉइंट ये है हाँ लक विल फेवर द ब्रेव है वो जो भी है बट मेरा जो कहने का
नहीं,
मकसद ये
मतलब
है कि
प्रॉब्लम क्या था उसमें, डेथ डेथ ओवर ही प्रॉब्लम था, इंडिया के साथ ये प्रॉब्लम है, वेदर दैट शुड डू विद स्टैमिना और स्किल और लैक ऑफ पेस, देयर इज अ प्रॉब्लम देयर, बिकॉज़ उसमें भी आप देखो, गौर करो आप, इंडिया शुड हैव क्लीन दैट गेम अप आफ्टर दे गॉट अफरीदीज विकेट, आप वही गेम के बारे में जो बात कर रहे हैं, जब अफरीदी की विकेट मिल गई थी उसके बाद टेल आ गया था, आप क्यों सोहे तनवीर 2 छक्के क्यों मारा आरपी सिंह को, यू नो, सो दिस इज अ कांस्टेंट प्रॉब्लम, आप टेस्ट मैचेस में देख लो कितने की बार आगे टेल में टेल स्टार्ट स्वैगिंग, आप मेहदी हसन का इनिंग देख लो वनडे में, हर फॉर्मेट में हो रहा भाई, एंड इट्स नॉट ओवर एग्जैजरेशन ऑफ डेथ ओवर एनीथिंग, इट्स अ प्रॉब्लम, एंड दैट प्रॉब्लम it could be lack of skill, lack of pace, it could be something, but there is a huge problem there, and that's why ये amplify होते जा रहा
या तो
इंडिया
मे
के
बी लैक ऑफ एबल टू सॉर्ट ऑफ वेरिएशंस को सही यूटिलाइज करना भी हो सकता है आई डोंट थिंक स्टैमिना तो आई वोंट से इट वुड बी अ फैक्टर बिकॉज़ भाई स्टैमिना तो है बॉयज में आई डोंट सी दैट एंड देयर आर ऑल लाइक बीन प्लेइंग कांस्टेंटली इतना क्रिकेट साल में खेलते भाई स्टैमिना तो इशू हो नहीं सकता आपका नंबर 1
इसलिए
नंबर 2
थक गए होंगे आप
थके नहीं यार
2011
लाइक
में भी देखो, 2011 में क्या स्कोर था, लाइक यू नो दे वर 3-4 डाउन श्रीलंका, लाइक व्हाट 100
या
and
4 डाउन
and
3 डाउन
the run rate was like 3 runs in over. Zahir Khan was bowling superbly. Jarvaddin came last 10 overs. He hit like 90, 100, 90 runs or something. They didn't close it out in the death there either. And that's what I'm saying. Even in matches that you won, you've had issues in closing out games, and this is a problem for India, and it's going to be a bigger problem. And that's why I'm not pinpointing Arshdeep, because Arshdeep is not the only guy who's part of the problem.
it's a part of the past
yeah, you know, I've seen Bhuvneshwar screw up in the death. I've seen Bumrah screw up in the death. I've seen, you know, if you take it back, like, you know, a notch, RP Singh, these guys have also screwed up in the death. So it's not just Arshdeep. It's a problem with India.
मे बी थोड़ी और आई मीन देखो मैं इस तरीके से देख रहा हूँ भाई बाकी कोई टीम में भी ये प्रॉब्लम होगा 100% बट यू हैव लाइक ओके चलो लाइक इन टर्म्स ऑफ अदर इंटरनेशनल टीम्स हर टीम में है यार वीक लिंक डेथ ओवर से
मगर आप देखो, जैसा इंग्लैंड का एग्जांपल ले लेंगे, सैम करन कैसा डालता डेथ पे, आर्चर कैसा डालता जब पीक पे खेल रहे थे, मैं बता रहा हूँ, लेकिन उनका कैसा डाल रहे, पाकिस्तान में भी वो अपार्ट फ्रॉम द विराट कोहली गेम, यू नो, द लाइक्स ऑफ शाहीन, नसीम, ही इज वेरी गुड इन द डेथ, दे नॉक ओवर द टेल वेरी क्विकली, दे नेल दोस यॉर्कर्स, सो आई थिंक इट्स अबाउट एक्यूरेसी as well. The Indian bowlers sometimes go to too much variation. If you, that's what I feel. आप बहुत ज़्यादा, you know, slower ball भी डाल रहे, ये भी डाल रहे. Maybe just stick to your Yorkers. If you get hit, you get hit. If it's AB de Villiers type player is going to scoop you, fine. But at least bowl those wide Yorkers or Yorkers. That's what Sam Curran was doing. Sam Curran का कितना pace है उतना है नहीं है. मगर what did he do? He stuck to the basics.
I mean वही है कि भाई मैं जिस तरीके से देख रहा हूँ इस चीज को in terms of death overs and stuff. यूटिलाइजेशन ऑफ वेरिएशन होगा बट आल्सो समवेयर डाउन द लाइन यू नो वो जो लास्ट ओवर आते की जो एक माहौल बन जाता विद इन द टीम आई थिंक दैट शुड चेंज मोर पॉजिटिवली इसको या असर्टिव रह के इसको डालो हुआ सो हुआ चलो ठीक है C27 गए नो प्रॉब्लम टेक इट अंडर योर हेड एंड प्ले आउट योर बैटिंग आई मीन बैटिंग से आपको लग गया कि वो 27 रन आपको इफेक्ट कर गए होता भाई, वन ऑफ डे तो होता, वन डे ही विल बोल द बेस्ट डेथ ओवर, एवरीबॉडी लाइक ये स्पेशलिस्ट बन गया, वन डे यू विल बी लाइक अरे इन्हें मर्डर कर दिया हमारे को. आई थिंक दैट इज व्हाट इज एडिंग प्रेशर, द क्रिटिसिज्म एंड द कांस्टेंट पॉजिटिव एंड द नेगेटिव एंड पॉजिटिव एंड द नेगेटिव. That is what is hyping. Yes, I get it. It's a crucial over, but just माहौल नको बना दो ऐसा कि भाई मरी गए ओवर में अपन. So I think that is how the bowler will psychologically feel more comfortable to bowl these kind of overs. Is what I feel. I don't know if you agree with that or not.
I think what you're saying is not wrong, but like for me, it's just more of the skill and the execution more than anything. Because तुम ऐसा बोल रहे, like कैप्टन भी उछलता है, ऐसा नहीं है कि like रोहित शर्मा रहने दो, विराट कोहली रहने दो, अर्शदीप, उन लोग भी उछलेंगे. अगर आप ऐसे रन्स लीक करेंगे तो कोई भी उछलेगा, तो आपको प्रेशर तो आएगा कहीं से भी. आप इंडिया के लिए खेल रहे, you're gonna find pressure from anywhere. You have to deal with that pressure in a different way. It's just for me,
On the
it's
field, I'm saying it's like on the field maybe they could just be more positive assertment to this, and
but no one is apart from their teammates, nobody else is talking to them and telling them ki bhai death over aa gaya, death over aa gaya. No one's telling them. So maybe it's the teammates creating that pressure. I don't know. But for me, it's just basic execution is not there, and it has to improve. It's there at times, like you mentioned, he'll bowl a good death over, but it's not consistently there.
yeah.
And I would say more. You don't need to do it every game, but it's not even there 50% of the game. So many times we've seen
Also, like probably develop a also develop like a good poker face. Not let the opposition know what you're going to bowl. That second ball that he bowled to Daryl Mitchell on the free hit, he knew उन्हें ready हो गया, stance में खड़ गया उन्हें slower ball के लिए. Because उन्हें poker face develop करो, थोड़े tricks करो, थोड़ा lighten yourself up, चिल्लर हरकतां करो, थोड़ा बॉल फेंको, थोड़ा आके रन अप वो करो यार, ये चीज़ा मजा आती करने में.
उमरान मलिक का क्या ख्याल है? बिकॉज लोग बोल रहे कि भाई एक्सप्रेस पेस है मगर और कुछ है नहीं, उन्हें पिट जा रहा है एंड स्टफ. योर थॉट्स ऑन उमरान
मलिक का ख्याल बहुत नेक है मेरा, because he is someone that has pace that no one in India has right now. He has not played enough wide he's not played enough Ranji also, man. He's not even played enough any kind of format of cricket. ज्यादा नहीं खेला, उसको रफ ले लेके आया, उन्हें रॉ है अभी. It'll take time for him to cook, Wellington beef well done type of situation करने को थोड़ा time लगेगा उसको. But he is definitely one. He has to play a few in Australia, play a few in England, play a few here and there. Milna with the likes of Mark Wood, Naseem Shah, Shaheen. I know Naseem Shah was young, but इन लोगों के साथ इन्हें एक आध गुल मिल सका तो he'll be able to understand, थोड़ा course लेना from the classic bowler like Wasim Akram. So he'll develop new variations, he'll develop a new temperament, he'll become more solid. It's just about grooming this. Yes, solid talent, there is no doubt about that कि उसको talent नहीं है बोल के कोई नहीं बोल सकते. Yes, he will be expensive, but he will get you wickets as well. So that is one thing. And he अगर उसको I think एक बार new ball try करके भी देखना उसको.
The difference that I noticed is if you look, you mentioned Naseem Shah, you mentioned Mark Wood, you mentioned Shaheen as well. If you notice, the difference is Umran at certain times bowls too full. I mean, I love it. You need to bowl the Yorker and everything. I love that. But maybe at certain times, what these guys do, Naseem Shah in particular, he hits a hard length and then he goes full. उन्हें good length डालता और थोड़ा सा short डालता, then he goes full. His length, he pushes it up a bit, and 3-4 deliveries, he'll hit the bat hard by bowling a good length, and then he'll bowl that Yorker as a surprise. Whereas Umran is more full, majority of his deliveries, and that's maybe something that he can learn from the likes of Naseem. That's maybe a slight thing you want him to see, because if you notice that nobody likes to get rushed on, right? And if you're hitting that hard length, it becomes a bit difficult to go front foot, back foot. You're not sure, but if it's full, you know exactly by front foot पे आके खेलना, time करना है, बस ये जाएंगे, it's gonna fly. So maybe that's
yeah. Also with like Umran, he just needs to understand कि कौन सी delivery कब डालने का है. Like he usually goes for a short one, and then he gets pulled over, then he immediately changes his next ball to the fuller. The fuller is his go-to ball. Like अरे भाई ये safe है, कोई मेरे को मार नहीं सकता, मैं इसमें अवेलेबल. But you can't always hit that on the right thing. कभी आप slot में दे देते हो और आपको फोड़ दे सकते. तो पॉइंट ये है कि भाई he just needs to understand कि कौन से बॉल किधर क्या सिचुएशन में कैसा डालूं मैं. एंड या गो टू बॉल तो है, थोड़ा आउटसाइड ऑफ स्टंप डाल के तीस करो, थोड़ा गुड लेंथ डाल के तीस करो, थोड़ा क्रैम्प हिम फॉर रूम. पुराने जमाने में कितना करते थे यार, कोई लंबा प्लेयर आया कि दे क्रैम्प हिम टुवर्ड्स द लेग स्पेस, देते ही नहीं तो उसको बैट फिराने की जगह. तो ऐसे ब्रेटली करता था वो बहुत अच्छा. तो आई थिंक he should look into that, and it's only just a learning process for him. He has a good colleague in Siraj and Shami. They both are different kind of bowlers, and that'll definitely help him to learn a lot from these two.
Yeah, I agree with you. He's still very raw talent. It's going to take some time for him.
ज़्यादा खेला भी नहीं ना, बस उन्हें बहुत ज़्यादा कम खेला in terms of रांझी या मुश्ताक अली या ये वो चीज़ा. तो एंड भाई टैलेंट तो बहुत ज़्यादा है. IPL में जिस तरीके से उन्हें डाला हैदराबाद के लिए, he cleared up opponents left, right, and center. So for me, he is one to definitely keep. And 150, 160 डालने की जो ताकत है, is always an asset. Like you can't say no to that.
In wide ball cricket, in T20 cricket in particular, is Mitchell Santner the best left arm spinner in T20 cricket?
Right now,
Yeah.
oh much left arm spinner कौन है? पाकिस्तान का नवाज, यहाँ पे जडेजा, यहाँ पे
Aksar.
अक्सर. Santner is hitting good line and length. Yes.
Maharaj.
England, Maharaj. इंग्लैंड में कौन है? इंग्लैंड के कोई याद नहीं आ रहे. लीच, यानी लीच इज वाइट रेड बॉल.
Yeah, and I'm talking about like orthodox, not
Azerbaijan.
Chinaman.
Not Chinaman. Okay. Hmm. You could say, yeah, at this point of time, he's definitely one of the best. Probably the best at this point of time. I can't recollect names. Maybe if I
Because
think deep down.
I'll tell you something.
Yeah.
I think that even Jadeja, I rate him as a much better red ball bowler. In T20 cricket, even if you've seen the IPL, Jadeja is not as effective. Yeah, he'll have the odd game where he rips through the opposition. But for me, he's more of a batsman in the white ball format. Aksar Patel, again, same thing. He has a round down action. We saw in Australia what happened with him. But Santner is someone in all conditions, उन्हें कहीं से कहीं कुछ ना कुछ करता है. And when there is spin on offer, he'll to maximize it in terms of wickets also. But even on flatter pitches, I think he bowls very
Skid.
cleverly. Even
Yeah.
in smaller grounds in New Zealand, he's very clever. And I think, playing in those grounds, New Zealand being brought up in those grounds, that's really helped him. And I think he's probably right up there. Currently, probably the best left arm
Yeah.
orthodox spinner.
100%. Like I said, he is an asset on every pitch. Flat ko bhi unhe, he can skid the ball. He can bowl like a Jadeja as well. He can also get the ball to turn. So that in itself is an asset. And then he is a brilliant batsman as well. अपन देख रहे, he played a very good supporting role. जो उन्हें Michael Bracewell को दिया था. I think he is right now probably at this point he's the best. Yeah.
Yeah, Hyderabad. So yeah, so Santner will be up against the other all-rounder Hardik Pandya. Let's go into our fantasy tips and chips and pick our players for tomorrow. There's plenty of games, so let's do for 2 games and then take it from there. So India and New Zealand, Lucknow, one player each from each team, please.
From New Zealand, I think I'm gonna go with I'm going to go with Finn Allen again. Finn Allen this time. I know Ashish will come and take him, but Finn Allen, for me, last match, he was looking amazing, but again, he got caught in the deep, and unfortunately, he was not able to get to a 50. And for India, I think I'm going to go with the captain, because I feel this time he had a very big responsibility on his shoulders to keep them in the game. So I think it's going to be Hardik Pandya for me from India.
Hardik Pandya, decent shout. I'm gonna go. Last time I went Ishan Kishan, I think, right, from India. This time I'll go. Should I take a safe bet? Surya Kumar Yadav. I think I'm gonna go Surya Kumar Yadav. And from New Zealand, last time I went Conway. This time I will probably go. Help me out here, Glenn Phillips. I'm always gonna go with my man, sir.
Similar kind of players.
साहिब भाई इन द हाउस. मुस्तफा भाई बोला पठान देखेगा. मैं तो देख लिया भाई, पठान देख लिया आपने. पठान के घर में दावत है तो पठान जरूर आएगा मेहमान नवाजी करने. क्या जबरदस्त डायलॉग था वो, तो मजा आ गया. Conway and
Kuldeep, that's a good shout. And Kuldeep is the safest bet, I think, right now in terms of the spin department.
Both of these two fellas have had incredible last few weeks, like in the one-day series and T20s. They performed really well. So these are very good picks in terms of.
And both have come. I mean, Kuldeep from a longer zone, if you see, he's come from a bad form, from a long 2 years gap ke baad. But even Conway in the middle, he was not getting runs.
Where was he getting runs?
I think in the T20 World Cup also he was getting runs, and
in specific, he was having issues in the subcontinent, if you remember.
Yeah.
Now he's changed that, bro. Watch out! Chennai Super Kings are going to make it to the playoffs, bro, this year.
Exactly, and like since that Pakistan tournament, he just looks like a very different player. I keep telling the same thing, that he has all the shots in him: his sweeps, his reverse sweeps, his square cuts, his drives coming down the wicket. Man, this guy is a very good, and left-handers obviously more always good to look at a left-hander,
Yeah, of course.
drive and stuff. हमेशा मजा आता, like that's why one of my favorites is Brian Lara. उसको देख वाली बैटिंग देखने में इतनी मजा आती थी यार, for Brian Lara. And yeah, Devin Conway definitely up there right now.
Even Tawfiq Umar had some nice drives on him. I'm not even
Tawfiq
joking.
Umar had good on him as well.
Good. What about
गुटका भी खाते थे तौफीक भाई.
Imran
Huh?
Farat and Tawfiq Umar
तो
opening the batting? Was that your favorite? Because
oh
they're
my
both
god.
left-handers, and you're a left-hander also.
My favorite is Sadagopan Ramesh and Saurav Ganguly. Sadagopan Ramesh याद है. Uh,
याद है भाई.
but yeah, I
उन्हें
mean,
जल्दी आउट हो गया था वो गेम में जो गंगुली और ड्राविड फोड़ के रखे 99 में अगेंस्ट श्रीलंका
याद है भाई.
in
Yeah.
the 99
कितने
World
के
Cup.
प्लेयर याद आते हैं, और विजय भारद्वाज was the first guy in India who was wearing spectacles to play. The one I saw first time, विजय भारद्वाज बोल के खेलता. खैर, coming back to Conway, Conway man, I just love this guy's batting ability, and he is one confident player. एक आध मैच shrug off कर दिया उन्हें जो नहीं चला, but फिर सेंचुरी आके मारा and back to back कल भी 50 मारा. He looks on the verge and that's a very good shot. कुलदीप यादव भाई, उन्हें कुछ भी विकेट पे अभी आप दो, उन्हें सोना उगा के दे रहा आपको. उन्होंने कुछ भी आप फ्लैट भी बोलते विकेट, उन्हें कहीं ना कहीं से टॉप एज ले गए, या तो कॉटन बोल्ड या कुछ भी. आई थिंक कुलदीप हैज डेवलप्ड हिज गेम a lot, and the action change like you mentioned has helped him a lot with bowling those faster ones.
Yes, sir. And then from the England South Africa game, one player each.
England, South Africa is from England. I think I'll go again. The safest option to go in an England thing right now is Josh Butler. Josh Butler has been fine form. He's not looking to stop at all. And consistently 50s mara, consistently carrying England and carrying whatever team is in. And from South Africa, I'm gonna go with Hendrik Klaasen. Hendrik Klaasen के साथ जाना चाहूंगा मैं, because he's a Hyderabadi boy, but also he's been performing consistently well in the T20 format. He's got quite a few 50s. Last match he was looking good, but he got out unexpectedly. So Hendrik Klaasen and Josh Butler.
Last time my guy was Nokia. He was outstanding.
Okay.
I'll switch it up because it's getting too easy now. I'll smash you if
Rabada.
I keep him because Nokia is too good. I will go with your favorite pick, Quinton de Kock, because
Oh,
I
yeah.
just
Duty
remember
hit.
he'll give some points catching as well behind the stumps, hopefully. And from England, you went with Josh Butler. I will probably go with
Sam Curran.
again. No. I don't know. You
Chopra.
probably support Punjab. I support Sunrisers, so I'm gonna go with Harry Brook, bro.
I took Hendrik Klaasen.
My man, Harry, mate. Oh my, mate. Harry's a wizard, bro. Something, it's a gamble. He got out for 0, and there was criticism already in the comments yesterday कि भाई आपका हैदराबाद का player duck पे out हो गया. मगर let's back the boy tomorrow, Mr. Harry Brook. He's a very good player, and he's.
Yeah, I mean उसको बहुत जल्दी से आया. I think Ben Stokes बोल दिया कि उसको क्या बोलते हैं अपना विराट कोहली के जैसे he will be able to enjoy a career like विराट कोहली. That was too quick for him. Maybe he's not able to take that responsibility. So Harry अपने पेस पे खेलो बेटा, कोई जल्दी नहीं है. अब बहुत लंबी जिंदगी है अभी.
Also, he's too used to playing the Pakistan attack. Now he has to realize कि अलग अलग है. No care about is a different challenge altogether in South African conditions.
Yeah, man. And I think he just needs a tapal chai break. That's what he's saying. But yeah, this is all a good shot.
पाकिस्तान को मार रहा हूँ कब से.
Vokes and Miller also बेहतरीन फॉर्म में चल रहा है, and I know Ibrahim Bhai knows it better than anyone sitting there in South Africa. He knows because he's been playing fantastically. He's been redeeming himself in the T20s. And yeah, I mean Chris Vokes also, I think batting ability आ गई Vokes में. He did smash a very good 50 recently. So yeah, these are also two good shots. At tail wise, तो Vokes is incredible, and bowling also fantastic.
अंशुल भाई बोल रहे इंग्लैंड एंड पाकिस्तान कहीं से हार सकती है किसी भी टीम से. बिल्कुल, पाकिस्तान तो अनप्रेडिक्टेबल है, और इंग्लैंड जो जैसा स्टाइल क्रिकेट खेलती है, मतलब दे कैन थ्रो अवे अ गेम आल्सो, दे कैन आल्सो विन अ गेम आउट ऑफ नोवेयर. तो बिल्कुल सही बात है. दोनों टीम्स अनप्रेडिक्टेबल है, बट आई जस्ट फील इंग्लैंड ज्यादा कंसिस्टेंट है, बिकॉज़ आल्सो इफ यू हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड कि दे डोंट प्ले विद फुल पर्सनल राइट ऑल द टाइम. उनके प्लेयर्स बेंच प्लेयर्स भी आते रहते हैं.
और अगर आप ये दोनों टीम को देखें ना मुस्तफा, लाइक इंग्लैंड एंड पाकिस्तान की सबसे फनी थिंग इज इन लोगों के स्क्वाड से, आई वुड से इंग्लैंड एज मच एज पाकिस्तान की स्क्वाड सिलेक्शन इज ऑलवेज व्हाट इज लेटिंग देम डाउन. एक तो इंजरी से शाइन एंड स्टफ को, लेकिन भाई जिस तरीके से लाइक आप स्क्वाड लेके गए T20 में भी काफी लोग मिस हुए. फखर जमान को आप बिठा दिए, इसको बिठा दिए. आई थिंक पाकिस्तान अपने आप पे कुलाड़ी मारते, एंड देयर इज नो वन एल्स दैट दे कैन ब्लेम. यस ऑफ कोर्स कम ऑन इंडिया, बट yeah, Pakistan they always have themselves to blame, and then कहीं ना कहीं उनला आ जाते किसी के बर्थे पे, like a Netherlands or someone. Yes sir.
नहीं, डॉक्टर फूड के आगे तो मेरे को बहुत
Come on, India.
वो एक सवाल है, बिकॉज ही इज फ्रॉम हिज नेम ही लव्स फूड एंड ही हैज अ ग्रेट इंस्टाग्राम प्रोफाइल. यू कैन गो एंड सर्च हिम ऑन इंस्टाग्राम. पूरे लाइक हर टाइप का खाना उन्होंने रिव्यू करते हुए हैदराबादी स्टाइल में, एंड ही ईट्स ऑल सॉर्ट्स ऑफ थिंग्स. सो आई वांट टू आस्क हिम, द गेम इज इन लखनऊ, द सेकंड T20. तो आपके हिसाब से व्हाट्स बेटर, हैदराबादी बिरयानी and Lucknow biryani? That's part A of the question. Second is, what's better, Hyderabad kebabs or Lucknow kebabs? And please give honest answer. And like, no one's going to say anything just because Faiz loves Hyderabad. That doesn't mean you can't say Lucknow. I don't mind if you say Lucknow. Like, I appreciate it, because from what I heard, the research that I've done, I can't tell you firsthand because I've not gone to Lucknow. But I heard that Hyderabadi biryani is better, but Lucknow kebabs are better. So this is a debate that I always
सब
have.
बैगन का बात है, हैदराबाद कबाबा भी अच्छे है, बिरयानी भी अच्छी है. बढ़िया. आई मीन आप अपना ऑनेस्ट ओपिनियन दो. मुस्तफा डजंट लाइक बिरयानी, लाइक्स मंदी एंड
Rus Bukhari, bro. Rus Bukhari is a powder.
Yeah.
You can't see
बढ़िया. शॉ को मौका मिलेगा क्या? मुश्किल है मेरे हिसाब से अंशुल भाई. जिस तरीके से इन लोगों का अभी टेम्परामेंट है कैप्टन्स का दोनों का, अगर आप देखो कि वो लोग यही बोल रहे कि भाई वी विल बैक, हम लोग लंबी रस्सी देंगे. एंड शुभमन गिल तो जिस तरीके के फॉर्म में अभी गिराना उसके लिए मुश्किल है, क्योंकि अगर पृथ्वी शॉ आके फेल हो गया तो फिर वही सवाल होगा कि भाई इनफॉर्म शुभमन को आप एक ही मैच दिए. तो आई थिंक अगर शुभमन कल फेल होता है तो थर्ड मैच में तो खिलाएंगे, बट इनएविटेबल है कि एक मैच तो डेफिनेटली शॉ को खिलाया जाएगा मेरे हिसाब से. मुस्तफा भाई की उंगली आंख में जा रही है, लेकिन उनका कुछ बोलने का दिल है. बोलिए मुस्तफा भाई. सो मेरे हिसाब से तो नहीं मिलेगा. आई थिंक शुभमन दे विल गो विद द सेम टीम जस्ट टू शो कि भाई वी आर बैकिंग द बॉयज एंड देयर इज नॉट अ लॉट ऑफ थिंग. एंड अर्शदीप भी खेलेगा कल मेरे हिसाब से. मुकेश शर्मा को शायद थर्ड मैच में चांस देंगे. यस सर.
Yeah, I get jawab. Hyderabadi biryani, but kebabs mein Lucknow does come close. Their Tunde kebabs and Galuti are great. That means that Lucknow kebabs are better than Hyderabadi kebabs, and Hyderabadi biryani is better than Lucknow biryani. That is the assumption that I'm doing, and I need to go to Lucknow to try it out as well. Hopefully soon. You should bring other guests on the show to get different opinions. Okay, sir.
You are not a guest, bro. You're one of us. You're not a guest. अपने घर में बुलाने के लिए अपने वालों को बुलाने.
We try, bro. We try. We always try to get guests, but like people are busy or
definitely we are trying.
If you're free, let us know. We'll send you the link right now.
No, इसलिए तो बोल रहा हूँ कि भाई you are not a guest. अपने घर में.
No, I think he wants us to bring other people. I don't think he's talking about.
We're definitely trying to get someone. Hopefully. Soon.
No, hopefully somebody else will come. तो जब तक हमारे को बर्दाश्त कर लो, जब तक कर सकते, उसके बाद किसी को लेके आ जाएंगे. Ireland hopes are in England hands, as if England lose one more match, then Netherlands have to beat South Africa 2-0 for Ireland to still have a chance at direct qualification. So that means if South Africa win tomorrow, it's going to be very difficult for Ireland to go through.
And I would definitely be upset. भेजो क्या? अच्छा, कबाबा भेजो. Ireland hopes. Ireland definitely would be a miss in this World Cup. I get it. Ireland has been always always a surprise factor in any kind of an ICC tournament. But मेरे हिसाब से South Africa, I want to see this team, though if they're chokers or whatever, they always add like fire to the tournament. And
very talented team.
And I know Ibrahim Bhai would be upset also because South Africa never saw. Yeah, just for Ibrahim Bhai and for the sake of the tournament, I wouldn't want to see a tournament without North and Rabada in this kind of a form. बहुत जबरदस्त मजा आने वाली है अगर hopefully they make it to the World Cup. But yeah, tomorrow the women's sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, the women's final. No, I was just going to say, let me talk quickly and then I'm going to leave. You can handle the winner, bro.
But I was saying, the women's World Cup final, man, Shefali Verma ka birthday present is only a trophy, what she's saying. How, man, I mean, I know अपन लोग इतना नहीं देखते थे women's cricket, but मेरे को अब tension हो रही है, like when I think about अरे इन्हें तो बाला जमा रहे हैं नीचे. I mean,
मैं कैसे ऐड करूं? तुम देखो, अब मैं ऐसा कैसा ऐड करूं? कहाँ बैठे हुए क्या कर रहे हैं? अब मैं कैसा ऐड करूं? बोलो.
वहाँ किसी के शादी में बैठा था दिख रहा. But yeah, add him because people are wondering मैं क्या किसके बारे में बात कर रहा हूँ. तो yeah, just quickly adding our guest.
कैसा ऐड करूँ? मैं बोलो कैसा.
ये तो देखो भाई, ये तो एमवी बंटाई की टी-शर्ट किराए पे लिया क्या मालूम है ना. But coming back to the World Cup, Mustafa, like Shefali Verma's birthday trophy on the line. पहले नहीं देखते थे, अभी थोड़ा बहुत टेंशन हो रहा मेरे को अंडर 19 का वर्ल्ड कप के बारे में. लाइक इट इज अ फाइनल, इट इज आवर कंट्री, सो हाउ यू लुकिंग एट इट, विनय एंड मुस्तफा? लाइक go for it.
I think the bigger threat is in this tournament is Shweta Sherawat more than Shefali Verma, because she's been the one who's been scoring bulk of runs for India more than Shefali Verma at this point. But Shefali Verma all rounder बन गई पहली बार.
Yeah,
like full Yeah, bowling last game semi-final, 4 overs, 9 runs, 1 wicket. That's amazing bowling, especially in a T20 and stuff. And England just off a fresh win against Australia, low scoring thriller that they won. So it's a tough game, and hopefully it'll be an interesting one.
That was incredible. Also, if you guys saw the parents of the England team, they were like dancing and
Yeah,
cheering
yeah,
after the game. They were celebrating properly.
yeah.
It was good to see because low scoring thrillers are always incredible to see, and especially you're defeating Australia for England. It can't get better than that. Sai Bhai has a comment. Umran is talented, no doubt, but he is taking a spot lightly. Should he be dropped so he knows how valuable is his place? I think he has been dropped. If you see in the last series, in the one day series against New Zealand, he didn't play the first two games, so he was dropped there for the likes of. I think who was a Shardul Thakur to make space for him because he provides with the bat. Maybe that is something that is, I wouldn't say shattered his confidence, but played with him a bit. Maybe that's something because he didn't play those two games. Maybe he's someone who needs a bit more rhythm. Although I feel that he needs to get rest. But yeah, Fez and Vinay, you can go first because you're always itching to talk.
No, the thing is, it's Umran is still young, man. He's still gaining the experience of playing in India and playing for India as well. He's not someone who's just a mature cricketer. He hasn't played like bulk of cricket at this point. He's still very young in his career, and these are some of the opportunities that he has to bag himself. Right, like he is a potential that can play really well, and at this point, like we all know that he can get easily hit for runs with the space. The main aspect that he has is his space. So I think it's all just matter of how he has to control his length, and that's he's gonna learn that with more games in his bag.
लखनऊ गए कभी विनय?
मैं लखनऊ नहीं गया अभी तक. मैं
अच्छा,
कानपुर गया, लखनऊ नहीं गया अभी तक.
लखनऊ नहीं गए तो मैच
But
लखनऊ में. हाँ हाँ फैज.
मेरे हिसाब से उमरान देखो he's not taking his spot lightly at all. जो साहिब भाई बोल रहे on basis of that, भाई he's been taking wickets. I think he's taken 8 to 10 wickets in the recent 2 months. And he's phenomenal in terms of economy as well. एक मैच में शायद मारा खाया था उन्हें उसके हिसाब से I don't think he's taking it lightly. And like Mustafa said, I think drop हुआ होगा, but he also is being rested at the same time. And yeah, I mean they're just trying out different mantras and different bowlers to give everyone an equal chance. And Umran Malik, देखो भाई, he can just walk into the team because of that pace. But he's definitely not taking it lightly. That's something I would not say. And he definitely knows his value. And भाई in इतने कम time में इतने जल्दी international scene पे आ गया, तो obviously he knows his place in this position in the team. तो मेरे हिसाब से उमरान कुछ light तो नहीं दे रहा.
विनय, मेरी बात सुनो गौर से. ओके, मैं मजाक नहीं कर रहा हूँ. You'll understand. In the beginning you'll think I'm making fun of you. I'm not making fun of you. Okay, 2020 COVID time. At that time, Arsenal were 16th, 17th. Arteta was at the wheel. They're losing 5-6 consecutive games. And then what happens is they win one game against Chelsea. They continue to back him. He wins the FA Cup. After that, he's had 2, 3, 4 seasons. Last season, he did really well. They got knocked out at last minute against Spurs out of the Champions League spots. They came 5th. Now they're top of the league. So my question to you is, do you think that the Indian team should have a similar kind of backing where you're backing the young team? Because Arsenal is the youngest team ever right now in the league. Should you back this young team, especially in this format in T20 cricket? Even if they're losing, continue to back, make slight changes, like you bring in like an Nketiah or something like that, but you continue to back the youngsters.
Is Don on the show? I'm not sure.
Ron is always on the show. He's the boss of this channel.
Yeah, this question is for him, not for me. I don't know why you're asking me Arsenal questions. I don't follow them.
I'm not asking you about art.
He's asking you the process.
I'm giving
No,
you
no,
Arsenal.
I know. I have
Don't
to.
get
I have
touchy.
to.
Don't get touchy. Today my
No.
team is playing against
Don't
Reading.
get
bro.
touchy. That's not allowed.
See, the thing is, right now the team that Pandya is grooming, I don't think is a complete team that he's trying out. There are many gaps that I see, especially in the current squad. Like there is no proper finisher. Pandya, the position that he's playing currently is not a finisher role. He's playing as if he's a proper middle order batsman. He's not playing as a finisher. And with Jadeja not there, Akshar not there, yes, Washington is taking that role. But when you go abroad and stuff, you can't play so many spinners. in
There's
Indian
the same. There's the
and
same problem Arsenal were having. They didn't after Aubameyang left. They didn't have a striker. Now they have.
I
They went
don't
and
I
got
don't
this.
care about I don't
No,
care about
I'm
Arsenal. I'm
serious.
talking about Indian team. Let's
Fez,
let's let's stay on the topic of
what's the
Indian team,
problem,
not
right?
No,
not
no.
go
So
to Arsenal,
yeah, no, no. So
right? So
basically, that was
talking
the
about
point, right?
Arsenal is the other show. Talking about Arsenal is the other show. This is
Bolo, bolo.
a cricket show.
No, but that is a
So
similar problem they had. Bolo.
So the thing is, like, they need to groom a lot of players. Yes, Pandya has been given the responsibility. He needs to pick and choose his players that he wants to actually take ahead, and he needs to have a vision of what he needs for the 2024 World Cup. 2024 World Cup. Where is that actually going to be played? I don't
West Indies
remember.
and USA.
West
Yeah.
Indies and
So
USA.
in those kind of conditions, you need more fast bowling. Spin conditions are there. We saw last time when India played in Fort Lauderdale and everything, but again, it's not something that it's easy for like spinners and stuff. It's a shorter ground and everything. So I think fast bowlers are needed for that, and that's why someone like Umran and stuff would be essential in that regard. But you need to have those specific roles that need to be defined, and you need to give them more chances in that kind of role, and that's how you can take this team ahead. You can't just keep bringing in someone and just testing it out. You have to try to understand what your team composition needs to be, and that needs to be a captain's call, and he has to speak with the team management. Just giving a team from the team management won't be enough for them.
So according to Vinay, they need to get a finisher like how Arsenal got Gabriel Jesus. India need to get a finisher who can finish out games with the bat and with the ball also.
In cricketing regard, India needs someone like a Tim David.
ओके डेथ स्पेशलिस्ट नहीं मिला या अब तक इंडिया को बुमराह के बाद फैज बोलो
मिल जाएगा नहीं 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 मिला डेफिनेटली नहीं मिला बट ऑल्सो इंडिया का जितने भी बॉलर्स है कंसिस्टेंटली इंजर होते जा रहे हैं जो अपने को दिख रहा तो उनना भी कंसिस्टेंटली खेल रहे नहीं तो आई डोंट थिंक स्पेशलिस्ट की बात करें अगर अपने को कोई आई थिंक स्पेशलिस्ट बोल के नहीं बन सकता डेथ ओवर में स्पेशली यस यू कैन बी अ गुड finisher with the ball but not always you'll never be that consistent because that is what that over is right सबसे अच्छा बॉलर के भी पिटाई होती है सबसे बट इंडिया की बॉलिंग में अगर अपन देखें कंसिस्टेंटली चेंजेस आते जा रहे बुमराह जा रहा है तो सिराज आ रहा है शामी चले जा रहा है but Siraj is the only one who's there. I don't know why we're not trying like a Siraj or someone else in the death overs, but obviously he's getting finished. But kuch aur try karo variate in that department and see who actually has the gote or who has that kind of a temperament to actually fit. Because I know for a fact Siraj जिस तरह का aggressive nature का he can probably prove to be an asset in those overs.
इंडिया क्या ऑस्ट्रेलिया को रैंक टर्नर देगा क्या जैसी स्पिन खेल रहा है विनय आपके लिए आप स्पिनर है आप बोलो
मेरे को समझ नहीं आया क्या लिखा था इंडिया क्या
ऑस्ट्रेलिया सीरीज जो शुरू होने वाली है विल इंडिया गिव अ
Will India
रैंक
prepare rank turners?
दे स्ट्रगल अगेंस्ट स्पिन एज वेल तो रैंक टर्नर्स रहेंगे क्या या कैसे पिचेस रहेंगे आपके अंदाजा से
subcontinent pitches are usually rank turners, like especially day 4 day 5 and stuff. It's usually a rank turner even if it's
I'm talking about जो पिच खोदने का डे 1 से याद है इंग्लैंड के अगेंस्ट वो वाला
see the thing is India would be careful of that at this point according to me because test championship is online, and with those kind of pitches if they prepare you can get demerit points, and that's a big factor that India might be looking in case they want to qualify, so they
they
might
already have
not.
demerit points right India
Yeah.
They've had previous instance of demerit points, so they would be more careful. They need to qualify, so in that regard they would not do like according to me they won't have those kind of pitches where it'll be over in like 1 or 2 days and stuff. It should go to third, fourth day minimum, and it should be even kind of pitch for everyone. And of course, Australia is someone that we've seen that they haven't struggled. They've played a lot in India. They played IPL. They play so many different tournaments and stuff. And it's it's not going to be an easy series. Australia is not someone who's going to give it lightly because they have a packed test squad that they have, and I it'll be interesting if they bring in someone like Ashton Agar and everyone, and maybe sit out Green for that matter. For this test series, that's something to watch out for because uh, they might bring in an extra spinner and stuff. Have Swepson and Lion Bowl, and then have Ashton Agar play for this guy as well. So you could see some interesting changes. Hopefully, it's a good series that's going to happen.
Yep, Ibrahim Singh, West Indies might be spin friendly. India versus Pakistan match for 2024 is likely to happen
Yeah,
in
baby, Miami, baby,
Oh
Miami, आ रहा है.
LA. Oh my God, man.
Muy
I'm gonna
caliente.
pack my. मैं तो सीधा swimsuit में पहुंचूंगा प्लेन से सीधा.
मैं तो अभी चड्डियां पहन के बैठा हूँ.
Oh, that's so crazy, man.
Yo, that'd be crazy, man.
Bro, India
Florida में
Pakistan in
The Rock,
Hollywood.
The Rock will come, bro.
Yeah,
The
that
Rock.
pitch, that Fort Lauderdale pitch, is easy. Minimum score itself is like 200, 220 over there.
KL plays good over there. He has a good record. Mr. KL.
KL Rahul scored 100, his first
Yeah.
100 against West Indies over there.
Then it's a very
And these
easy
are
pitch to
shorter. So just to reply to what was in the comment, these are shorter boundaries. These might not be spinner friendly. Just an FYI. Like spinner friendly, yes, the pitch might be, but
He said
not the ground.
West Indies might be spin friendly, but India Pakistan is likely to have like he will
West
not.
Indies, West Indies typical grounds are actually smaller. They're not the biggest of the grounds, so I don't think it'll be spinner
Park
friendly.
is
So why not? That would be crazy. If it's in LA or something, I'm really looking forward to that. India versus Pakistan over there.
LA में नहीं होगा, LA में ग्राउंड ही नहीं है अभी, सिर्फ फोर्ट लॉडरडेल में.
बना रहे होंगे भाई
बना रहे
कंस्ट्रक्शन.
होंगे भाई वहाँ पे.
अभी वो
आदित्य बिरला का
MILC
सिविल लिखा हुआ है यहाँ पे.
MILC के लिए बना रहे हैं, MILC के लिए बना रहे हैं वो.
भाई
अभी
गाली कहीं दे रहे MLIC कहते हैं भाई मुझसे गाली दे रहा हूँ MLIC.
अरे MILC माइनर लीग टूर्नामेंट है क्रिकेट का, यूएसए का.
को देख रहे. That's not allowed.
It's not-
बता कर छेड़ हूँ. सुंदर को हार्दिक से ऊपर आना चाहिए. हार्दिक अरे कहाँ है, कमेंट ही नहीं आ रहा. अरे कमेंट चलेगा. सुंदर को हार्दिक से ऊपर आना चाहिए. हार्दिक को फिनिशर का रोल लेना चाहिए क्या मुस्तफा भाई?
I don't think so. But Mustafa, please answer the question.
आई थिंक सुंदर भी खेल सकता फिनिशिंग रोल अगर होना तो, लेकिन हाँ हार्दिक को आई थिंक द प्रॉब्लम विद हार्दिक पांड्या इज ही इज टेकिंग अ बिट quite a bit of time now to settle in. If he starts going from ball one like he used to by Indians, then I would keep him as the finisher. Yeah, because he has the experience over there. He knows कि भाई कैसा करना finish games. He's done it in the past for this Indian team. So why not? लेकिन the approach that he's taking right now, he cannot be your finisher because you need to go from ball one also, right? Like if suppose he comes in at a time when it's 34-12, he can't be taking thing. You saw that Pakistan game in the Asia Cup, he finished it off. उसमें भी he took time. It was Jadeja the other end who was hitting those boundaries and allowed Hardik to settle. Then Hardik finished off the game. So you have to finisher means आप कहीं भी दिशा दिनेश कार्तिक आता था, right? 2 ओवर खेलने के लिए आके ठाक 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 खत्म करो गेम. So finisher, sometimes the role of the finisher doesn't allow you to settle in. Sometimes it does, and that's where Hardik is struggling. I think if it's giving him time, then he will finish it off for you. If he has time to settle in, doesn't have time to settle in, that's where he's having a problem. आपको याद है T20 वर्ल्ड कप में विराट कोहली के साथ जो पार्टनरशिप था, he was struggling, bro. You say that partnership was crucial. It was कोई खड़ा था. I agree, but if you just the shots that he was playing, he was struggling. He was not connecting.
Agreed.
To be honest, like he's changed.
There's a podcast also, Pakistan ka for the film actors called To Be Honest.
नहीं वो वाला नहीं. वो वाले की बात नहीं कर रहा मैं. But like Pandya has changed his game completely in the recent times. He's not playing the same way that he used to play. He was a dedicated finisher back in the day, but now he's not that same kind of player. He needs time, and that's why he's coming in at that 3 down position where he's coming in, taking his time, and then playing his shots. I don't know if it's maturity, if it's evolution on his game or anything, but he's more of a dependable middle order batsman. He's taken batting seriously more. And that's what has transformed this game into a different kind of aspect of what he's playing now.
Maybe the time he's spending with MS Dhoni, he's trying to have that kind of role in terms of settling.
See, Dhoni वही था. Dhoni का difference ये था कि he had that on and off switch. If he had to come as a finisher, he'll come as a finisher. If he had to stay and finish the game, he'll do that as well. So he had that on and off switch. If Pandya is trying to replicate that, I don't think he's going to be successful because not every player is going to be the same, right? So
No.
Pandya shouldn't be. He could follow the footsteps, of course. No one's stopping him from doing that, but he shouldn't be just following the same template for his own game because he's probably not the same kind of player that Dhoni was.
I think, see, the way I'm looking at it, Abhi Surya Pandya on 4 is a very tricky character, and I think for Hardik Pandya, it is also probably requires him to sometimes play that prolonged innings. I know it's not happened yet, Surya Kumar out हुआ और उन्हें कुछ कमाल करा, but the way I'm seeing it for a futuristic prospect, कोहली अगर है एंड अगर सूर्य कुमार खेला, कोहली आउट हो गया, सूर्य कुमार एंड पांड्या खेले, सूर्य कुमार भी आउट हो गया, that will definitely call for a prolonged innings from Hardik Pandya. So maybe he's trying to even try to play a longer innings more rather than just coming in as a finisher, because that is what the situation will demand him to do, right? I think it's, for me, I see it as a positive rather than a negative, because he could stand there till the end and help the Indian team win, and whoever comes in like a Washington Sundar after him can finish off the game. So maybe he just want to be that setter, the guy who sets the base towards victory and then leave. I'm just looking at it in a very positive direction. You know what I mean, fam?
Yeah, I mean, it's a good point. I agree with Vinay to a certain extent that he has changed his game and he is struggling like to go off from ball one, where he used to do that, especially in the IPL. So I agree from that point. But yeah, if you're saying that, then you need to have a different finish. You need somebody in that role, like in the Deepak Huda role. You need somebody there who can play, from ball one and finish off, stay there till the end. They tried
So
Dinesh
maybe
Karthik.
in the future, like once hopefully the boy is back from the injury, Rishabh Pant would be that guy.
Or Jadeja. Jadeja could also be
Or
that.
Jadeja.
Yeah,
Also
The,
Jadeja.
the thing I think what's playing in Hardik's mind is, even though I'm the captain of India, I still can't play my brother in this team. So that's what is playing in his mind at this point, and that's why he's struggling so much.
नहीं भाई ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं होने वाला
ये क्या है? ये कहाँ से आ गया?
This is cue
बात
for changing topic.
नहीं, कृणाल तो खैर खुद अपने आप को खराब कर लिया, क्या खेल रहा है इसने उन्हें तो. But yeah, I mean, like Mustafa, like you said, Jadeja and I'm saying Rishabh Pant in the future would definitely play that role, and that is where Pandya can come and sort of keep things in control.
The thing
If there
is,
is
Rishabh Pant के
upper
साथ
order
अगर आप
collapse, upper order collapse है तो है.
Rishabh Pant को notice करा, I think they're trying to force on T20 cricket onto him, and they're putting that extra pressure. Like I'm just talking before his accident. If you just notice his form there, they've tried him at 5, 6. They've tried him at 3, 4. They've tried him opening the batting. They're trying to force him into the team. I think you give him a position. If you want the finisher role, give that. If you want the power play role, give him that, and then let him. If he doesn't perform, you drop him for that period of time. You bring him back when someone else is not performing, or if he's done well in another tournament or in domestic cricket. I think that's what they have to do with someone like Rishabh Pant, because they've tried him everywhere and they're trying to enforce this format onto him because of the way he plays in Test cricket. But it's completely different. It's a different ball game. I know it's very strange to explain that he can have that strike rate in Test cricket, but he can't replicate that in T20s. It's hard to explain that, but that's what has happened.
I think it's the field positioning more than anything in a Test cricket. The situation that comes in Test cricket easier दिखता होगा for Hardik Pandya to come and unravel, because फील्ड उतनी ज्यादा चेंज नहीं होती है. देयर आर लॉट ऑफ ओवर्स इन द डे टू प्ले. सो
हार्दिक पांड्या तो वहां पे भी स्ट्रगल करेंगे, आप देखो तुम. पंत अलग है. हार्दिक पांड्या
पंत का मेरा ये असेसमेंट है कि भाई ऑब्वियसली देयर इज लॉट ऑफ टाइम फॉर हिम टू लर्न अ लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स, एंड T20 में उन्हें अगर ही स्टार्ट्स implementing that formula and what he does in Test cricket in T20, आके मारो carefree, and that's what they like about him probably, कि आके उन्हें finisher role का वही requirement है, carefree खेलो obviously, but only thing I would expect from Pant is for a carefree, just have a little bit value for your wicket as well. Vanna he is good to go.
See, if you like India में, there are so many people who play cricket, right? If you actually notice, अभी domestic में भी ले लो, IPL में भी ले लो, the only people I see as finisher roles are someone like Abdul Samad, Shah Rukh Khan, Abhinav Manohar, and Dinesh Karthik, who were there in the reckoning. Apart from them, there were no other finishers even in IPL for as an Indian batsman. कोई भी तुम बैटिंग देख लो and stuff. So I feel like इतने सारे जब Rahul Tewatia, yes, another player, yes, I couldn't remember him, but these were your dedicated finishers that were in the team. अभी तुम अगर notice करोगे, like there is no one getting groomed in that regard, right? Shah Rukh Khan, he's struggling badly. Abdul Samad, he's also struggling badly for JNK at this point, and even for Sunrisers, he was like one season wonder. Like even Shah Rukh Khan, one season wonder in Ranji Trophy, then couldn't replicate form in IPL. Rahul Tewatia, yes, he scored a few sixes here and there for Gujarat, but apart from that, he didn't really outperform everyone in the tournament and stuff. And right now, he's not playing too much of Ranji cricket and stuff too. So there's no grooming of these kind of roles that India is actually thinking, and that's where the selectors are very important in those kind of roles. That they need to find someone who needs to fit into this team and play that role, and they're not able to replicate that kind of form for anyone.
I think Washington Sundar is a good shout. If they, I mean, there's a lot of time for him to improve, and there's, he's very young, but I think that's someone they can look to because he has the.
Akshar Patel is also there.
Akshar Patel is
The
also there.
problem again, Faiz, like in Indian condition, subcontinental condition, it's fine. You can play Akshar Patel, you can
Correct.
play Jadeja, you can play Washington, right? You can play these three spinners. You can have two fast bowlers, so you get your five. Then Hardik Pandya comes in and chips in with the ball. So six bowlers you have, so that's fine. But when it comes to outside conditions, you can't play these many spinners. You have to
Then you
play
need to
fast bowlers.
develop Venkatesh Iyer, you need to develop Shivam Dubey type players.
Exactly my point. Like Venkatesh Iyer struggled badly when he came in the middle order. He was when he played for KKR in that one season. Again, he was a one season wonder. Last season, where was he? He wasn't even in the 11 for KKR most
Found
of
him
the
out.
time.
Opposition teams, they found him out.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. Like all these players that we have at this point are mostly turning out to be one season wonders. They're not turning out like constantly playing that kind of role on a constant basis, and they need to be groomed well. And that's why this selection committee, team management, all these things have to be looked in more of a closer aspect rather than just putting the blame. Oh, after we lose or anything in a game, we're just like blaming the team that they're not doing these things. If we had won the last game, I don't think this topic would have come through as well.
Mm-hmm. Sudhir bhai in the house. Hello,
Oh,
hello.
hello,
Thank you
sir.
so much for joining us. अंशुल भाई बोल रहे हैं, हार्दिक पे कैप्टन का असर बैटिंग बॉलिंग पे दिख रहा है. जो कैप्टन बनता है परफॉर्मेंस में व्हाट क्या आता
फर्क
है?
फर्क फर्क फर्क
ओके,
डिफरेंस.
डिफरेंट फर्क वो लिखा हुआ है FAK, तो आई डोंट नो. मैं कुछ और सोच रहा
अगर
था.
वहाँ आर भी लिखा होता ना तब भी तुम यही पढ़ते.
तो हाँ, is it captaincy which is causing this extra responsibility, extra caution in his batting?
अभी वो एंटिसिपेट कर रहा था अंशुल भाई ये पॉइंट के भाई अगर कैप्टनसी बट कैप्टनसी तो अभी अभी मिली है मतलब प्रीवियसली भी सब गुजरात के लिए भी आप देख लो कैप्टनसी वाले ने इशू फॉर हिम राइट लाइक आई
वो
डोंट
तो
थिंक
इट
इट्स
वाज एन इशू फॉर राशिद खान आल्सो व्हेन हार्दिक डिडंट प्ले. राशिद खान केम इन, टिवाटी आके मार दिया एंड में से. वो लाइक कैप्टनसी में उतना रेट नहीं करता हूं. आई विल बी वेरी ऑनेस्ट विद यू बिकॉज़ देयर इज राशिद खान कैप्टन 3-4 ऑफ दोस गेम्स आल्सो एंड दे वर स्टिल विनिंग. देयर वाज अ लॉट ऑफ इंडिविजुअल परफॉर्मेंसेस ओवर देयर.
या बट दैट्स व्हाट आई एम सेइंग कैप्टनसी उतना बड़ा टोल है ना कैप्टनसी मिलने से पहले भी उसकी फॉर्म थोड़ी बहुत ऊपर नीचे हो रह चुकी है सो आई डोंट थिंक कैप्टनसी इतना इफेक्ट कर गया है इन पर्टिकुलर. अगर मैं हार्दिक पांड्या का देख रहा हूँ यस मेंटालिटी या टेम्परामेंट एज अ क्रिकेटर लाइक विनय मेंशन करा कि मैच्योर हो चुका है वो एंड आई थिंक जिस तरीके से मैं देख रहा हूँ अगर सूर्या फ्लॉप हो रहा है दैट इज वेयर हार्दिक लुक्स एट हिम कि भाई ये गिरा तो मैं खड़ के रहना है ताकि वॉशिंगटन या यू नो समवन एल्स कैन कम एंड हैंडल इट. दैट इज व्हाट आई एम फीलिंग दैट्स व्हाई ही इज टेकिंग अ लॉट मोर डिलीवरीज. ये तीसरे भाई कौन है? ये मुतैया मुरलीधरन के कजन ब्रदर है.
मैं इंट्रोडक्शन देता
भैया ऐसे क्यों
हमारे खास दोस्त है सुधीर भाई. विनय हरिहरन खास दोस्त थे मेरे. ही इज आल्सो द सन ऑफ अंपायर हरिहरन जो इंटरनेशनल अंपायर थे ICC में एंड ही स्टिल डज वर्क इन क्रिकेट. तो अगर आप गूगल करें अंपायर हरिहरन, दिस इज हिज सन मिस्टर विनय हरिहरन. तो आपको कोई सवाल है? विनय भी अंपायरिंग करते होते खास नहीं है उनकी अंपायरिंग कंपेयर टू हिज डैड, बट यू कैन आस्क हिम अंपायरिंग क्वेश्चन. ही हैज नॉलेज बिकॉज ही कम्स फ्रॉम एन अंपायरिंग फैमिली and he's grown up watching all these cricketers close by because his dad used to umpire in these international matches. बहुत तारीफ करी है विनय का. एंड हम लोग बहुत खास दोस्त थे कनाडा में. फिर उसके बाद मैं यहाँ आ गया, मैं भूल गया मैं विनय को, टू बी ऑनेस्ट.
थैंक यू फॉर रिकॉग्नाइजिंग दैट फैक्ट.
कल तो मुस्तफा भाई ने बहुत मारा सिर्फ एक शॉट से. सुधीर भाई क्या मतलब ये जरा मुस्तफा क्लियर करो एक शॉट किसको मारा.
ये पर्सनल मैसेजिंग बाद में करें.
या मैन
सोचिए किसके बारे में आप बात कर रहे थे. सुधीर भाई आप उस हिसाब से बोलो.
बहुत मारा सिर्फ एक शॉट से.
बस आप ये सॉरी
ये तो रजनीकांत का शॉट हो गया.
he can be talking about any kind of shot right now, so I don't know. Vinny, your fantasy picks for tomorrow: India, New Zealand, and then England, South Africa.
India, New Zealand. I'm gonna pick Shubman Gill.
Hmm.
He's been in tremendous form. I think he's gonna uh, have a wonderful game. And for New Zealand, I'm gonna pick Devin Conway again, man. That guy is never short of runs.
Yeah, that's a good shout. Devon Conway, somebody he's been in very good form in this tour in particular. अंशुल भाई सिंह अगर शॉ में मौका मिला फिर फ्लॉप हुआ नेक्स्ट सीरीज में मौका मिलेगा क्या ज्यादा प्लेयर भी होने भी टेंशन है हाँ फैज बोलिए
It's very unfortunate for Shaw, man. It's like he scored so many runs in Ranji Trophy, and then he gets picked for T20, and then he's gonna sit out most of the tournament. If now that India has to win the third T20, they won't play Shaw for no, like
What
if
if
they
they
had
lose
won
to
the if they lose tomorrow, then yeah, maybe they might bring in Shaw. But Gill is not going anywhere. He's going to play the game.
you
Ishan
agree
Kishan,
with that?
they won't try Ishan Kishan in the middle order. So Shaw is not going to get an opportunity. Is what I feel like. The only position that is open is probably Deepak Huda's position. But then there's no one in the team that can actually take Deepak Huda's position at this point. So like you can't
No,
bring in
maybe
Rituraj.
yeah, maybe for the third T20, if Ishan fails again, then they might just demote him back to Deepak Huda and he'll
But
get
then who
Prithvi Shaw.
keeps?
Ishan Kishan will go down, Deepak Huda go out of the team, Ishan Kishan
So
will keep, and Prithvi Shaw will open.
Ishan
Wait,
Kishan, you're gonna play at six.
Yeah, if he's flailing again at opening, just to see if he can do it. I mean, they go.
I
You have
don't
to do
think that's
something.
gonna
I
happen.
don't think they're going to take out Ishan Kishan and put Jitesh Sharma again. Deepak Huda अगर अच्छा खेला तो think, but I am saying कि भाई अगर Shubman Gill fails, then you set him out. That's not the format for him at this point of time. It's all right. Prithvi Shaw comes in.
Yeah, there are possibilities, but I don't think that's going to happen at this point. Priti Shaw is just going to sit in the bench. It's unfortunate for him, to be honest. It's not something that's ideal for him. It's same thing happening with Sarfraz as well. Not being in the team and stuff, where he's scoring so many runs, and right now he's like commenting different things and stuff, and that's probably going to affect his career as well, is what I feel. So hopefully that same direction doesn't go for this guy as well.
विनय आपके लिए सवाल विनय भाई वो सचिन की आवाज वाले और लॉन्ग हेयर वाले अंपायर कौन है
सचिन की आवाज वाले और
याद है एक वो मैच था आईपीएल में when the TV umpire to director करते he was the third umpire, he was the TV umpire and when he was talking
एहसान रजा यारो
ऐसा ना
वो
सर
तो पाकिस्तान का है भाई.
नहीं
पाकिस्तान का
नहीं
भाई
आई थिंक आईपीएल में था उन्हें इंडियन नहीं है मेरे हिसाब से सचिन की आवाज थी उसकी आई रिमेम्बर स्पेसिफिकली इन इट वाज इन द आईपीएल
अच्छा अच्छा एक चीज
वो
बता रहा इतना टाइम का को लग रहा मैंने भाई टू गेट द स्निकोमीटर कमिंग एंड द क्या बोलते बॉल ट्रैकिंग इंडिया के पूरे मैचों में इतना टाइम लग रहा लास्ट मैच में भी भाई 10 मिनट रुके कुछ 5 मिनट
ये टेक्निकल इश्यूज होते हैं आईटी के क्या करें.
वेटिंग फॉर बॉल ट्रैकिंग वेटिंग फॉर बॉल ट्रैकिंग वेटिंग फॉर बॉल ट्रैकिंग
हाँ पाठक पश्चिम पाठक है ऐसे कुछ नाम है उसका. कर्ली हेयर एंड वो थोड़ा कैरेक्टर भी था. आजकल पता नहीं कहाँ पे है बट लाइक आई डोंट नो इफ इज या पश्चिम पाठक ऐसे कुछ नाम था उसका.
And Vinay, from the ICC awards, were you happy with the all the awards? Were you satisfied, or was the one particular award you didn't agree with, from umpiring to cricketing to anything?
I didn't agree with Richard Illingworth getting the umpire of the year. I think Erasmus deserved more, and even Anindar. And if you actually notice, like my dad actually says this.
Alimdar had some howlers though this last year.
So this is what my dad calls
बॉल
Alimdar.
से मार दिया
See, my dad tells like Alimdar and Erasmus are the only two umpires who have the balls at this point to take tough calls when they're umpiring. Rather than being a defensive umpire, they're the offensive umpires, is what he calls them. Alimdar set that template, and now Maraz Erasmus has actually taken that template in his umpiring as well. So I think they both deserve more than Richard Ellingworth. And Richard Ellingworth had some, especially against India and stuff. He had some bad decisions that happened last year and stuff. And India even asked the ICC not to put him as umpire for when India is playing playoffs and stuff. So I think there are those kind of things, but those are just rumors and stuff. But I think Marais Erasmus for me deserve more than Richard Illingworth.
And you're okay with the ICC Gary Sobers Award and the
Babar
batsman?
Azam, I don't know. No comments at this point.
Baba Azam. Yeah, Faz agrees with it. I disagreed with it. But
Yeah,
so I was looking what
I
your
also
opinion.
disagree with it. Sorry, Faz.
तो क्या
Yeah.
है, बाबर मेरा सगा थोड़ी
तुम
है.
हाँ नहीं तुम उसकी तरह दिखते तो तुमको पसंद मैं मालूम
फैज
सबको
बोला
बट
किसी फैज बोला वो बोलो
बालकनी यहीं से मैं कूद जा रहा हूँ.
फैज बोले उनको लोग बोलते थे हेयर कट के बाद कि विराट कोहली
लोग नहीं प्लूरल में नहीं बोला मैं. ये मीडिया वाले यही चलेगा मसाला ऐड करके.
क्या बोलो किसी
मैं एक बार वाला कटा के निकला तो गाड़ी पे था तो कोई मेरे को ऑटो वाला रुक के बोला कि भाई विराट कोहली का तो मैं हंस के उनको बोला पागल है क्या बोल के बोला.
भैया
ये
वो बालकनी पास में ही है जाके वापस कूदो
क्लासेस का अगर है तो
वापस
हमारे
से
पास
कूदता है. एक बार कूदे तो वापस से
वापस कूदो
he needs glasses. Vinay knows people in Canada also who have glasses stores and stuff. So if he needs glasses, let us know.
You also have glasses. You can recommend the shop.
No, we have a guy, Mr. Ramesh Durrani. Shout out to IQ at Burlington City Center. You can get your free glasses and everything. Mr. Ramesh Durrani is there. Mr. Ramesh Durrani is there. He's gonna give you free glasses.
ला भाई रमेश भाई से बात करो जरा स्पॉन्सरशिप दे दो रमेश भाई. अहमद भाई को रमेश भाई को सबको लाके
Helmet लेना पड़ता है. He's the top batsman in Canada right now, especially in summer cricket. He's like for me top you know like
yeah, 9 or 10 centuries last season, man. It's unbelievable season.
हाथ में नहीं आता ऐसा हमारे को भी अपॉइंटमेंट लेके बात करना पड़ता हमसे. He's
उनको Tuesdays and Fridays उनके डॉक्टर आते चश्मा
हाँ आईसीसी वर्ल्ड ऑफ प्लेयर ऑफ द ईयर बाबर और बेन स्टोक्स में से किसी को मिलना चाहिए था क्या लगता है. आई थिंक देखो वनडे क्रिकेटर ऑफ द ईयर बैट्समैन ऑफ द ईयर अगर आप बाबर को दिया मैं समझ सकता हूँ मगर क्रिकेटर ऑफ द ईयर मेरे हिसाब से बेन स्टोक्स को देना था या किसी और को भी आप ट्राई कर सकते हैं. मेरे हिसाब से बेन स्टोक्स बिकॉज ही चेंज्ड the concept of test cricket. He's also won the T20 World Cup. तो क्रिकेटर ऑफ द ईयर मेरे हिसाब से उसको मिलता था. बाबर आजम उसकी स्टैट्स बहुत जबरदस्त है. रन्स मिले उसको ठीक है मगर अगर आप देखें 2 फाइनल भी पहुंचे मगर उसमें से एक तो जीतना था एशिया कप फाइनल मेरे हिसाब से और दूसरे फाइनल ठीक है आप इंग्लैंड से हार गए नो डाउट नो प्रॉब्लम बट I don't think that makes you cricketer of the year. You should give to somebody who actually made even a bigger difference, and that for me has been Ben Stokes. Just my opinion. You don't need to agree with it.
But Ben Stokes didn't play properly in all 3 formats, so I think.
Yeah, I know, but still, man, like what he did was like he gave that effect of cricket, like
That's why he was chosen the Test captain of the year, right?
See,
he was
Test
chosen as
cricketer of the year he got, right?
Test cricketer of the year and the captain, but his impact is only on the Test cricket. I don't think his impact was there in the limited overs, so that's why I don't think he was gonna get. So I disagree completely with you, Mustafa, for Ben Stokes getting player of the year. But
for me, he's won a World Cup. He's won a trophy, and also
but that wasn't just last year. No, you're talking about last year performance. You're talking about last year performance. You're not talking about 10 साल पहले वो 1-2 टूर्नामेंट जीता है वो वाली कैलकुलेशन अमैलगमेशन नहीं होता बट आई एम जस्ट सेइंग लाइक लास्ट ईयर he didn't win.
What are you talking about?
No, last year
he won the T20
World Cup. T20 World Cup he didn't win.
Who?
What do you mean?
Oh, sorry, he won, but he wasn't the impact. Sorry,
from today, let's wrap it up.
He won the.
tomorrow. पढ़ के आना tomorrow. हाँ बोलो फैज wrap it up. Your thoughts. हाँ बोलो.
अरे Khair, I mean, Ben Stokes did win the World Cup, just for people confused right now. But I'm just gonna quickly run you guys through, Perth Scorchers आज जीत गई 151 बनाई थी Sydney Sixers ने और there was a good partnership from Jordan Silk and Moises Henriques. बीच में 58 मारा Moises Henriques of 43 and for Jordan Silk, I told you about this guy earlier as well. This guy has been playing phenomenally well. 47 of 34. Pick of the bowlers was David Payne for Perth, where he got 4 overs and 33 runs for 3 wickets. But Perth came in easy. Ashton Turner, the captain, smashed it completely, 84 of 47, and Perth easy and the driver's seat, top of the table right now. And yeah, I mean they're most likely going to reach the finals. And Anshul Bhai says T20 ka kya Sam or Surya? I think Surya in terms of impact. Sam Curran got form on a later stage of the year when you compare it to Surya, who did it from the beginning of the year. I think that was a differential factor where Surya easily changed the whole dynamic and momentum of the game in the short selection, and it came a long time. But yeah, I think मेरे हिसाब से Surya, Mustafa, if you agree or disagree with that.
Yeah, Surya Kumar Yadav, I think. Because Sam Curran was outstanding. He won the World Cup, so it is difficult to make that comparison. I think it's a good shout, Sam Curran. But Surya Kumar, मतलब जो innings खेला उन्हें जबरदस्त खेला. Again, you can make the argument that Sam Curran won the
देखो
World
मेरा
Cup.
एक ही पॉइंट यहाँ पे होता है अंशुल भाई, मुस्तफा एंड एवरीबॉडी वाचिंग, भाई आप ठीक है आप ट्रॉफी जीत जाते हैं, ऑब्वियसली इट्स अ टीम एंड कलेक्टिव, बट इंडिविजुअल इंपैक्ट इन द टी20, यस सैम करन हैड, आई विल नॉट टेक दैट अवे फ्रॉम, बट ओवरऑल ईयर
वही
का भी आप
मगर
असेसमेंट लेते हैं.
अगर आप देखें जो सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट चीज थी जो साल में था वो वर्ल्ड कप था, उसका जो कंट्रीब्यूशन था इट वाज मैसिव. ऐसा नहीं है कि भाई उन्हें बेन स्टोक्स है, ठीक है मैं समझ सकता हूँ उसको, उन्हें खाली फाइनल में खेला, लेकिन सैम करन पूरा टूर्नामेंट खेला एंड उन्हें इवन
बट वही होता है ना, आई गेट इज द बिगेस्ट थिंग, बट साल की बात कर रहे हैं आप, चलो इट लेट्स टेक द two one thing. Surya did it for let's say 10 months, and then this guy just did it for 1 month in a World Cup. That doesn't change the factor ना. मेरे हिसाब से आप 11 months को आप निगेट करते रहे, फिर वो 1 month के पीछे 1.5
मतलब उससे पहले भी अगर आप देख लें अगेंस्ट पाकिस्तान वाज इट, he played really well in that series as well, bilaterals.
बट लाइक वही सूर्या के हिसाब से अगर साउथ अफ्रीका को मारा, इंग्लैंड को मारा, और किसको मारा, आई थिंक शुरू के सीजन में वेस्ट इंडीज को खेले थे अपन, किससे खेले थे अपन इन जनवरी मार्च, I think West Indies or someone we played, and then he smashed. So Surya did it throughout the year, and that's why for me Surya. And भाई उसकी जो टेक्निक है मिस्टर 360 पूरे दुनिया को हिला दे रहा हूँ तो अभी at this point. But I just hope उन्हें consistent रहना. I know थोड़ा बहुत मुश्किल है in the 50-over format to replicate what he's doing in the T20. But that's how I look at it कि भाई साल का बात अगर अपन करें, yes tournament आपके नाम के अंदर है, I get that, I respect that.
उसका हर मैच में कंट्रीब्यूशन था, ऐसा नहीं है कि एंड हर बड़ी टीम को लाइक अगेंस्ट हिज डेथ बॉलिंग वाज ब्रिलियंट इन अगेंस्ट एवरी बिग टीम. So I feel in that sense Sam Curran is a very close shout. Again, I don't mind if you go Surya Kumar Yadav. I think it's a close debate, but Sam Curran is a good shout in that way. मलान को ओपनर बना रहे हैं, जॉनी को रिप्लेस करने वाले लगता है. नो आई थिंक अभी मेकशिफ्ट ओपनर बना रहे हैं बिकॉज जॉनी नहीं है. जब जॉनी आ जाएगा तो आई थिंक मलान
also I think कोई प्लेयर नहीं है.
They'll have a look at Hales as well, I think. KL Rahul should have been in the Test Cricketer of the Year for playing it in T20s.
It's all right, man. Let's just back to KL Rahul and forget about it.
Yes.
What are your thoughts on Ashwin saying matches in World Cup should start at Indian time? I think Rahul at the start of the New Zealand tour that he said कि 11:30 AM को कुछ शुरुआत करेंगे तो ड्यू फैक्टर, I mean देखो ब्रॉडकास्टर्स के ऊपर रहता, आपको ना तो 11:30 बजे पब्लिक भी पागल है क्या, पब्लिक के भी काम आ रहे थे, थोड़ा वैसा भी सोचना. I think that was a very uncalled comment at that time. I understand, but you're a professional cricketer and you're asked to play in every kind of event and situation. Suck it up and play, bro.
Sorry, I didn't read the comment. What are your thoughts on Ashwin Singh playing matches in World Cup should start at Indian time 11:30 AM to reduce due factor? Look, if you're looking from a cricketer's point of view, it's a very valid point, because even Rohit Sharma had mentioned that it makes it a more even contest, so it'll be a more exciting thing. If you saw in Australia in the T20 World Cup, we didn't have that due issue, and that's why there are some games ridiculously close and the toss was not dictating terms of play. So if you're looking at it from that perspective, I think it's a very valid point. But then who has the power in now? It's the broadcaster. So you have to look at the timing, they have to look at the audience. If you're going to start at 11:30, will people be available to go to a stadium and watch even if it's a World Cup on a workday, right? So and also even on a weekend, 11:30 means you have to get up like at 7-8 and then go to the ground. India mein traffic bahut rehta, to us hisab se they have to look at all those costs. But yes, if you're looking at it from that point of view, it makes for better cricket if you start at 11:30 am.
Yeah, I mean there's two sides of the coin to it, but I think वही है कि भाई in India the grounds are far away relatively. Hyderabad ground is good enough far away for a lot of people, and heavily populated country, so I don't know कि भाई अरे आगे विनय भाई वापस, welcome back sir.
विनय, what's up bro? हाँ तो विनय, तो आपके लिए एक सवाल है यहाँ पे. हाँ पहले
बताओ।
क्या बोल रहे थे तुम्हें बिफोर आई कट यू ऑफ? बोलो क्या बोल रहे थे बेस्ट
अरे छोड़ो, तुम बेन स्टोक्स को कहाँ लेके आए?
नहीं नहीं मजाक कर रहा था, बोलो बोलो।
विराट कोहली का फेवरेट वर्ड है बेन स्टोक्स, बस उतना
नहीं
ही याद
नहीं
करो।
नहीं नहीं, बोल दे मैं सुनता हूँ।
What are your thoughts on Ashwin saying matches in World Cup should start at Indian time to reduce due factor?
हम्म।
क्यों भाई? क्या दिक्कत है
बिकॉज
तुम्हें ड्यू फैक्टर से?
वो ड्यू बिकॉज डिक्टेट हो जाता नहीं, लाइक कभी कभी चेसिंग टीम
भैया
के।
ड्यू फैक्टर हर कंट्री में होता ना, ये इंडिया में थोड़ा ना सिर्फ है। हर
बट
कंट्री में होता तो।
डू यू थिंक अगर निकाल दिए फैक्टर तो इट मेक्स इट
Hmm.
अ बेटर गेम टू वॉच?
I don't think so. Like I understand that the template becomes whoever wins the toss elects to bowl, but that is the fact. Like तुम toss जीतो अपना decision लो, but you can still lose match. It's not like it's an easy victory. पहले innings में इतना score करो और bowling में तुम आराम से रोक सकते. It's not too difficult and stuff. So in World Cup the situation is completely different. It's the importance of how you play in the World Cup is what is important rather than thinking about the external factors.
Because what I noticed in the England World Cup, we didn't really see dew because most of the games were in the day. You had the odd day night game, लेकिन also वहाँ पे sunset भी summer में बहुत देर होता है, right? Like it's even later than Canada. I think it's very
Yeah,
late.
the thing is, India is a lazy country, right? And for more viewership, they need to have the viewers coming in at a later stage in time.
Yeah. That I know.
Okay?
Broadcast, like I understand that.
एग्जैक्टली सो यहाँ भी तुम देख लो, कोई भी इंडियन रेस्टोरेंट सुबह 11 बजे तक नहीं खुलता कनाडा में भी, क्योंकि इंडियंस आर लेजी. वी ऑल नो दैट फॉर अ फैक्ट.
I won't say lazy, but yeah, I mean, देखो मजदूर लोग हैं, काम कर देर रात तक करते हैं, and then they have to get up early and then fetch bread. So I
भैया
think वो
मजदूर लोग जाके स्टेडियम में मैच भी नहीं देख रहे ना, जो देख रहे हैं वो सब तो लेजी.
मजदूर स्टेडियम बनाता ना भाई.
वो बात सही है, लाइक जो मेजोरिटी पॉपुलेशन है तो जो बिजनेस ये वो रहता है, लाइक इट स्टार्ट्स लेटर इन द डे एट सर्टेन टाइम्स. आई डोंट नो, लाइक
एंड
from
सुबह
IT
सुबह सारे कामा खत्म करके लोग आते हैं मैच देखने, तो इसलिए वो आइडियल टाइम है इंडिया के लिए. तो आई डोंट थिंक दे गोना चेंज द टाइम फ्रॉम 4 o'clock. दे गोना ऑलवेज स्टार्ट देयर गेम्स एट 4 o'clock and then 7 o'clock, just like IPL times.
Just like the IPL times. Anything else you want to discuss, or should we wrap it up?
तुम बताओ, कोई सवाल है मेरे लिए?
आपके लिए सवाल ही सवाल है भाई, मैं और पूछ सकता हूँ
पूछो
अगर तो. Yeah, okay, let's wrap it up. Last few questions. Vinay, with England South Africa, if you're looking at that series right now, the World Cup is on the line for South Africa, like the qualification. So you saw the desperation yesterday.
Yeah.
My question is not about South Africa, it's actually about Jofra Archer. I'm not really concerned with his figures because it's going to take him some time. But your thoughts on his performance, and are you like you're not worried about it like me, or you think that it's cause for concern?
For him, it's coming back into the game time. I think that's what is more important for England at this point rather than his form, because they all know that how big of an impact he can have, especially when he comes into the side. So at this point, it's more to give him the match time rather than his form. And that's why I don't think England is going to be concerned in that regard. But the surprising factor for me in that first ODI was how did they not give man of the match to Rassie van der Dusen and they gave to Mangala?
Because I'll tell you why. Because when England had a partnership like what 150, 160, like that, a huge partnership. They were chasing that down, and the required run rate was very low. It was like 4.55. It was Mangala's spell that actually got South Africa back into the game, and Nokia and Rabada finished off. So that's the reason why they gave it. I understand.
But then, if Rassie van der Dusen didn't play that innings of 114, do you think South Africa would have reached 290? They wouldn't have. So you can't take that importance out.
Okay. Despite him making that 100 also, they were already 40 or 55 deliveries. But what you spell Dala on it changed the whole dynamic of the game in favor of South Africa, right? Despite
the dynamic changed in the first innings itself when they scored that many runs.
But still,
you have to see that way, right?
But they still were 40 runs of 55 balls. They were आराम से cruise में कर रहे थे. Jason Butler and Josh Butler and the other guy. But then he came in and he changed he got that crucial wicket, and that's how South Africa gained an advantage. Tail आते कि tail wipe कर दिया ना. He got into the tail.
Yeah, I agree with Faz over there. Just because it changed the course of the game.
And other bowlers were struggling till Jason Roy was there in the top.
फैज भाई इस सीरीज में वो टाइमर वाला रूल क्या है फॉर 20 ओवर्स?
Which timer वाला rule?
आई थिंक वो बैट्समैन अंदर आने का
I think it's
रूल.
75 seconds if I'm not wrong. 75 seconds ही है, I think.
90 seconds था पहले. I don't know if there's a new
75
rule
yeah.
change.
Because BBL में अभी हुआ था ये एक ऐसा BBL था कि ऐसे T20 था. One of the players took more than 75 seconds to come in. I think it was a domestic tournament or one of the tournaments, and then the captain of the opposition team was like, we could have challenged it, but we let it go. But 75 seconds के बाद आप नहीं आ सकते pitch पे. It's the rule. But अगर सुधीर भाई can just let me know which one he's talking about.
सिराज को क्या वर्ल्ड कप के बाद T20 में मौका मिलेगा क्या विनय?
ये आई होप सिराज
के बाद ही
को
मिलेगा.
आई होप सिराज को भी अश्विन और दिनेश कार्तिक वैसा प्लेयर ना बना दे. लाइक आफ्टर अ वर्ल्ड कप उनको फिर कभी जिंदगी भर चांस नहीं देना, वैसा ना करे सिराज के साथ. आई थिंक ही इज स्टिल अ पोटेंशियली good bowler that India has, and he's one of the more mature bowlers that India have at current stage, with Bumrah being injured for so long. Of course IPL may he'll be back, just for the IPL maybe, and then he'll again go into injuries, but I think Siraj needs to be there as the anchor for Indian bowling.
And what are your thoughts on their injury thing? Do you think the recovery time is taking too long for Indian players in particular? If you notice Jadeja, I know that he's back now playing for Saurashtra, but it took him quite a while after that knee board incident. With Bumrah, he's coming and going. There is definitely some issue there with the NCA, but what are your thoughts on the recovery period of injuries and just I know the injuries happening because of constant cricket, but do you think with modern science and everything, there could be a better job done for the Indian team?
See, for Bumrah, there are many factors, not just one factor. Uh, for injury, he's injury prone. We all know that he has gotten injured. His bowling action is in a certain way which makes him even more injury prone. The kind of stress he puts on his foot and everything, and his back, the way his arch and everything is, I think that is also a factor. The other thing is, last time India did rush him in an injury, and that might have caused additional pressures. Same way with Shaheen Shah Afridi, same thing happened, right?
Yeah.
He got injured, then they rushed him for the World Cup, and then now he's out for a longer time. So I think it's a combination of those three things, which is why Bumrah is taking much longer. But even if he's like 80% fit, he'll definitely play IPL, something that we've seen as a template. So I hope he doesn't get rushed again for the IPL, just because he wants to play IPL.
Yes. So let's finish it off very quickly. Can I get your predictions for both your predictions for tonight's game, Fez? If you can start off.
Manchester United is going to win tonight's game, but I think अगर आप न्यूजीलैंड की और इंडिया के बारे में बोला, I think India
आज का वही पूछ रहा था मैं, स्कोर लाइन बोलो.
मैनचेस्टर यूनाइटेड का रेडिंग के हिसाब से हिस्ट्री जरा अपनी ऑन ऑफ रहती, बट आई वुड गो विद 2-0 टू यूनाइटेड.
Vinay.
Same prediction, 2-0.
Bro, Rashford is killing it, man, this year, bro. Marcus Rashford. Can you do this once with me? Frame, screenshot this win and put as your display picture on WhatsApp. SRH Insta post देखा Harry Brooks times Harry Potter वाला क्या? हाँ मैं देखा. That's the older post, I think. I don't know if
that's when he was launched. Yeah.
What a guy, man. Harry Brooks, Sunrisers. I can't wait, man. IPL, bring on Delhi Capitals, bring on Mumbai Indians, bring on RCB. Sunrisers are here. It's going to be
the part is पंत का replacement अभी तक किसी ने disclose नहीं किया.
भाई कैसा मुश्किल है, वो टाइप प्लेयर्स भी नहीं है. अगर आप देखें everyone's got their keepers.
Keeper नहीं है, and they released Shrikar Bharat also this time. So I'm really surprised, who's gonna keep for them.
Yeah, they released him. They don't have
they have Phil Salt, who might play, but they released him. Gujarat Titans or Lucknow bought him for 1.2 crores.
Oh, wow.
Shrikar Bharat. It was either Lucknow or Gujarat Titans who bought him for 1.2.
Mm-hmm. And Vinay, very quickly, who's going to be the highest buy in the women's IPL auction? And which team are they going to go to?
Smriti Mandhana. I don't know about which team, but Smriti Mandhana.
I changed my thing. I was saying Mumbai RCB will be the highest bid, but it will be that team, the Ahmedabad team. That's going to be the highest bid, I think, because they were
Adani, bro. Adani. बहुत पैसा है.
नहीं यार, आज 22 million lose कर दिया मैंने 22 बिलियन का सेल कर दो।
भैया
वो
22
सब
बिलियन, 113 बिलियन का एम्पायर है उसका, तुम 22 बिलियन क्या
हाँ,
हुआ
तो
उसके लिए?
एम्पायर रिटायरमेंट भी ले लेता। नहीं, बट आई एम डेफिनेटली सेइंग कि भाई हो सकता है अदानी भाई को पैसे कहाँ से नहीं आते भाई।
वोक्स और
वोक्स एंड
विली
विली
में
में बेस्ट
ओडीआई बेस्ट
ओडीआई
को
लगता
लगता
है।
है मेरे हिसाब से वोक्स।
For me, Willie. The reason is, Vokes is very vulnerable, especially later on in death overs and everything. He's not that kind of a bowler. He's like Praveen Kumar or Bhuvneshwar Kumar, who used to come in the start, get that swing, and then he's done. It works as that kind of bowler for me. He hasn't evolved. He did try to evolve his game in that World Cup when England played in England, but it didn't work out too well for him. And that's something that he needs to work on, and that's when he comes into the team. David Willey gives you starting overs as well as death overs, and he offers with the bat. So I think he's much more better than Vokes for me.
G. That's a good answer from Vinay's perspective. Thank you so much for joining us, everybody. We really appreciate it. जो भी आज आए comment section में आते रहिए. कल भी बात करेंगे. We will discuss the games, review the games. Big day tomorrow. We have the Women's Under-19 World Cup final. Then we have South Africa versus England, and we have India versus New Zealand T20. So there's a lot of cricket to look forward to. It's going to be a busy day, and hopefully action-packed. Looking forward to it. Thank you so much, Fez, for your contribution today. Thank you, Vinay, for your contribution today. And it's always great to have you on the show. And hope you can give us more time in the future. We'll definitely.
Hope you
Uh,
call me in the future more often.
always. I will always call you, man. I love having a discussion and debate with you. So thank you, guys, and we'll catch you guys tomorrow. Enjoy the matches.